Hey y'all, I hope you're having a great day. I am spending some time this afternoon going through my 2023 journal and evaluating how well I've done and if I've reached my goals and that kind of thing. And I've already started the process of setting up my year for next year. I haven't finished that yet, though. I'm also working on that. I'm spending the next couple of days trying to get this all tapped out before the end of the year. And I don't know if you're a resolution person. I don't know if you're a goal setter or not. I always have been. I think honestly, it's probably in my DNA somehow, because this is something that's always resonated with me. I've always made a list of things that I want to accomplish, not just at the end of the year for the following year, but it just seems like a really good time to do it. Everybody's hitting the reset button on their year. Whether you've had a great one or a bad one, we all get a chance to start all over again, right? So I just wanted to kind of go over this and see if this is making sense to anybody, and see if there's anything in here that might help you as you're trying to figure out yours. For me, having a physical planner has been a big thing. I know that everybody's got their phones and you've got the computers and you can put everything on your Outlook or your online, calendar or whatever. But for me, having something I can physically see and have in front of me, it's open all the time, so I don't have to worry about going to find it. It's where it works better for me. I'm a little old school that way. This is not a sponsor. This lady that owns this business does not know me from Adam or Eve. Her name, I'm not even sure her name, but her company name is Commit 30. And this is probably the 5th year that I've used their planners, and I love them. Again, I'm a goal setter. And so her Commit 30 is about committing to 30 days at a time for a goal. And rather than taking on 10 things at one time, you kind of set out, these are the 10 things I would love to focus on at some point, but let me just take one at a time for the month. And it's been kind of cool. So I'm just going to show you real quick. I take the front page and I always put some scripture on there, because that allows me to kind of have what it is that I'm going to focus on for that year right there. This one happened to be a Proverbs 31 woman, and so I focused a lot on that this last year. And then I also, on the inside cover, on the inside page, then I put a visual of the things that I want to try to accomplish, my little mini vision board, if you want to call it that. And then I also do a written one. And so the written one allows me to list out the books that I want to read this year, the classes I want to take, the financial goals that we have, my personal goals, the homesteading skills that I want to learn. You guys know that we're going to be looking for a farm. We're going to be getting a farm this year. And so what are those kind of things that I have? What are my business goals? When I had my home in the suburbs, I always had a spot for my home improvement, because we were going through a lot of renovating at the house, and my landscaping goals for the things that I wanted to do in growing my food. And then one of the things that's kind of neat with this particular planner is that she gives you, and of course now I can't open to it, I had it just a second ago. She also gives you, there they go, these various areas of your life. So you can write down, like in your physical health, your spiritual health, your mental health, your personal growth, your career, your relationships. You can write down the things that you just want to make sure that you're focusing on this year, or that you're constantly putting in front of you. I know that there's a lot of biblical ties back to, putting the vision out. You hear that a lot, especially this time of year. Probably every pastor at some point in the next 2 weeks is going to talk about laying out your vision, so that the people can run with it, so that you can run with it. Because if you lay it out and you've got it in front of you, it's something that you're going to be able to focus on. But there are times that I look back at this and I'm like, oh dang, at the beginning of the year I really wanted to focus on X, Y, or Z, and I haven't given that any attention at all this year. So I think that that's kind of important. One of the ways, sometimes I used to teach a leadership class at high school, and one of the things I would have my kids do is we would talk about some of the goals that they had for their life. They were juniors and seniors in high school. So what is it that you want to do with your life, and what are you doing to get there? And I remember this one guy I had in class, he was determined he was going to be a soccer player professionally. And I said, so, this was a private school. There was no soccer team. He was in high school. I said, what are you doing about that? And he goes, well, I play when there's an ability to play. And I said, he goes, but I practice quite a bit. And I said, well, we're going to do this as a class. And I had them sit down, and for 2 weeks I had them write out every single thing that they did in 30-minute blocks. So I gave him an actual calendar out of a planner. And I said, every 30 minutes, you know that during 8 to 2 or 8 to 3, you're going to be in school. Outside of that, what are you doing with your time? When are you getting up in the morning? What are you doing before you come to school? What are you doing after school? What are you doing on your weekends? And at the end of the 2 weeks, we came back and he said, Miss Kelli, I was surprised. He said, I think about soccer so much. I thought that I was putting more time in it than I really was. He spent like 2 hours a week on soccer, on training, physically training. Well, he's not going to make it as a pro if he's only practicing 2 hours a week, and he knew that. But because he thought about it so much, he just thought he was putting in the work. I found that that's been a lesson for me, because I found that for myself a lot too. I think about something and I think about it and think about it so much that I just assuming I'm putting in the work to get there. And then when I'm honest with myself, I have to go back. So one of the things that I learned to do from a speaker on YouTube, is to color code your planner. And again, this is one of the reasons why having a physical planner is so good. So you can see that I've got a planner here where everything is blocked out and it's in different colors. And I mean, I block out my work day, because I still have a job from 8 to 5. So I block that out. And then I also block out, like, one color is for the stuff I'm doing to learn about homesteading. Another one is working on my business for centered living. Another color is for my schooling that I have still been doing. I'm continuing to do continued education. Another one is time that I spend just with my family and friends and loved ones, the personal connections I'm making. Another color is for my workouts. And I can take a look at my calendar now, go back about quarterly and say, okay, am I just thinking about my business, or am I really putting the time in? Am I just thinking about my health, or am I really putting the time in? Am I thinking about my relationships and my goals to spend more time with my dad or with my husband or with my kids, or am I really putting the time in, or am I just thinking about it? So I hope that, Christmas is just a week away, less than a week away. So people are probably crazy busy right now. But I hope that sometime between Christmas and New Year's that you're going to take a few minutes just to sit down and say, okay, another year has passed. What do I want my life to look like a year from now? Do I want to be in better health? Do I want to feel better? Do I want to stop having aches and pains? Do I want to lose some of the inflammation? Do I want to stop having to pop a Motrin or a Tylenol, every day? Do I want to be able to walk more than a mile without being in excruciating pain or being out of breath? Do I have business goals? Do I have a side hustle that I want to build and work on? Do I have a promotion that I want to get within my job, my W-2? Do I want a new car? Do I want to pay off a credit card? Whatever your goals are, write them down, y'all, and plan out your time so that you're reaching those goals. And I'm not talking about being a Nazi about it, okay? I'm not talking about, I've got to hit my goal and I've got to do this and I've got to do this and not being flexible. I'm just talking about be intentional. That's been the biggest thing for me the last couple of years, is I need to be intentional. I have always been led by my calendar, and that calendar was usually filled up by people other than me. And so the last 2 or 3 years, I'm changing that. I've been changing that. And I'm making sure that I'm setting my calendar. I'm putting my workouts in, and I'm getting my workouts in. I will not accept another invitation to do something if I cannot rearrange my workout for that day. I'm going to get my exercise in. I'm going to get my walking in. I'm going to do those things. I think that that's really important. And I hope you all do it. I really do. If you've got any questions about this planner, any planner, the kind of the things that I'm doing, I'm more than happy to answer them. You just shoot me a text or comment below or whatever. If you're serious about health and you want to start doing things for your health to improve it, definitely let me know. I'm putting together some classes that I'm going to start offering at the beginning of the year. If you want to get on the notification list so I can send you and let you know when those classes are opening up, I'd love to. Just make sure that you private message me, maybe with your email address, or if you've got my phone number in text, you just text me your email address and I'll be more than happy to add you to that. I would love to help you guys reach some of those goals for sure. Hope you have a great Christmas. Enjoy your family. Enjoy some quiet time, maybe between Christmas and New Year's, and plan out what you want your next year to look like. And I hope it looks amazing. Have a great one.